Hi, I'm Erica, and I hope your week is off to a fantastic start. I'm thrilled that you're here, and if you're new to the Tea Minds, then welcome. This is a lovely, warm, cosy space where we pause for tea so that we can reconnect with ourselves, rebalance our mind, body, and spirit, and learn how to savour those precious moments before they slip away. In each episode, we explore how something as simple as a cup of tea can be a gateway to mindfulness, mental fitness, and learning to be more present in the way that we live. With inspiring tea routines, thought provoking insights, and heartfelt conversations with amazing guests, this is your time to pause, rebalance, and thrive. Life is fast, but your tea doesn't have to be. So pop the kettle on, grab your favourite mug, and let's dive into the art of living with a tea mind. Hello and welcome back to the Tea Mind podcast. And today's episode is about something that many of us resist, but we all deeply need, and that is solitude. And in a world that constantly rewards endless connection and busyness, the idea of being alone can sometimes feel a little bit uncomfortable, might even feel a bit scary for you. But solitude, when embraced with intention, can actually become a really powerful form of self-care. Think of it like a quite active rebellion in a world that's constantly demanding your attention and is getting paid for your attention. So go ahead and brew your favourite tea, find a quiet spot, and let's take a moment to be still together. I've got some Callanish Cuppa tea latte today. So it's a lovely strong black tea with a hint of lavender, a little bit of nettle, and some meadowsweet. And to make it into a tea latte, I've just brewed it nice and strong, filled my cup 2/3 full, added a tiny squeeze of honey, and topped it with some steamed almond milk, but you can use any milk of your choice. And it just gives you a lovely, warming, milky beverage, and you can try it with lots of different teas. So, whichever tea you're drawn to today, if indeed you are brewing along, go for it. So, every day we're surrounded by so much noise, notifications, news feeds, conversations, expectations. Even in those moments when we are alone, our mind is often very busy and active as well. And we can often fill that silence with it might be podcasts, it might be messages, to-do lists, just endless things to fill that attention. But what if we didn't? What if just for a few minutes we instead allowed ourselves to simply be? And we often confuse solitude with loneliness, but one is chosen and the other one is endured. So with loneliness, we get that feeling of lack, whereas with solitude, we are gifting ourselves that sense of space. And it's not about isolation, it's more about intimacy with yourself. As an only child, I'm really comfortable being alone, but it took me a long time to be able to really sit in silence and to be able to quieten my mind enough that I could really connect with my inner self. But now I carve out and really cherish my moments of solitude, whether that's a mindful walk or a few pages of journaling in a quiet space, or more often than not, simply sitting with a warm cup of leaf tea and letting the moment steep. And over time, this solitude has become part of my daily tea routines. So quite often now when I go out for a walk, I don't take my headphones or listen to anything. I'm just aware of what's going on around me and I'm more aware and conscious of my own thoughts. I can hear the bird songs, I can hear the waves crashing on the beach, I often catch snippets of conversations and whispers of my own thoughts. So it's a reminder as well to really work out how I'm actually feeling and why. And it allows me really to tune in to those thoughts and those feelings. So I often carry a notebook around with me just when I get ideas, things pop into my head. Quite often, when you're left to your own thoughts, then things that have been percolating away will often come to the fore. It might be ideas, it might be things to remember, or maybe answers or questions or even images. So, what happens when we start to make space for solitude? Well, it does a number of things, and one of the main ones is it really helps to calm our nervous system. So, having time alone without stimulation gives your body a chance to rest, digest, and start to reset. gives your nervous system just a space to breathe, a space to rebalance, and to recognize and to be able to sit with your emotions as well. I also find it really helps to boost your creativity because you've got fewer inputs, so your mind can really wander and start to dream and start to connect the dots and just make patterns and connections that you didn't know were there. It can also help deepen clarity, so it clears away the mental fog, and also I just find it's almost like getting your thoughts in order so you can see what are the more important things and able to make better decisions as well. It's also been shown to strengthen emotional resilience because by learning how to hold space for yourself, you can start to meet your feelings with kindness rather than just constantly distracting them. So, by embracing a daily practice of solitude, it helps to build a self understanding and that a sort of inner grounding, which makes it easier to navigate all the challenges that life will inevitably throw at us. And I think it's really vital that we're able to be alone with our thoughts. So much so that I think we should actually be putting a lot more focus on teaching our children how to use this skill, especially in this age of constant entertainment and constant distraction. And I might be a little bit biased, but in my mind, tea offers the perfect gateway into this solitude ritual. Tea is slow, it's really intentional, and it can be really grounding as well. And when you think about making a cup of tea, where you're really using all our senses, from the sound of the kettles, the aroma and scent of the tea leaves themselves, the warmth and tactile of the cup in your hands, the gentle rise of the steam as you breathe it in. And this small tea routine, this daily ritual, can start to become a mirror and a real moment to check in, an awareness to start to ask, how are you feeling? What do you need in this moment? So rather than distracting ourselves and trying to escape the world, it's more about returning to yourself. And I think that's the real power of a simple tea practice. It's a real way to transform stillness into strength. And it just gives you that moment to hear your inner voice. So you've got time to really bring your ideas to the fore, the ones that are whispering in the background, and ultimately helps develop your creativity as well. So, this is a gentle invitation for you for the week ahead to take 5 minutes to be alone today, not scrolling, not trying to fix anything, not performing, just you and your breath and your cup of tea. And the first step is really to set the space, just choose somewhere calm, even if it's a corner of your room or your desk. Just leaving your phone outside or switched on to airplane modes and let the world have a little pause with you as well. Then the next step is to brew with intention and just mindfully boil the water, prepare your tea, slow everything down, try and really focus on doing one thing at a time. Notice the sounds, notice the smells, notice the warmth, and just let the process really anchor you in the present moment. And the next step is just to sit and sip in silence, even just for 3 minutes, holding your cup with both hands, just breathing in, taking a sip, and breathing out, letting yourself really feel the moment with no rush, no agenda. Just sip, breathe, and be. And then reflect gently. Perhaps ask yourself a quiet question such as, what do I need right now? Just notice what question comes up for you and let the answer simply come. And then finally, just close with gratitude. When your tea is finished, place your hands gently over your heart or take a final deep breath and whisper a thank you to yourself, to the moment, and to the stillness. And that's it. It can take as little as 3 minutes, however long you've got, or you can let it expand. And try this. I encourage you to try this for a week and notice how your body starts to soften. Notice how your awareness changes. Notice what thoughts bubble up to the surface. And notice how it feels to not need to do anything at all. Even if it feels a little awkward at first, just give it some time. Treat it as an experiment. So before I go, I want to leave you with a final thought. And that is, we spend so much of our life looking outwards all the time, just chasing connection, external validation, just noise everywhere. But peace often waits in those quiet spaces in between. And solitude isn't the absence of life, but it's really that space where we can start to breathe and find connection and serenity. So the next time that the world feels a little bit heavy, just pour yourself a cup, find a little spot, and let yourself rest in your own company. And go with it. You might just be surprised at what you find there. So thank you for sharing this moment with me today. If anything in this episode resonates with you, I'd love you to get in touch, leave me a comment, and just let me know what your thoughts are. You can find me on socials, on Substack, anywhere that you can find either Etiquette or the Tea Mind. So thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, and I encourage you to consider one idea that you could take forward into your own life today. If you found this useful, please share so that we can bring more people along on this Tea Mind journey with us. And just a little disclaimer to note that the content shared on the Tea Mind podcast and web pages are for informational and inspirational purposes only, and are not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis or treatment. Always seek the advice of your doctor or qualified healthcare professional with any questions that you may have regarding your health or a medical condition. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay seeking it because of something you've heard on this podcast. The hosts and contributors of the Tea Mind podcast disclaim any liability for decisions made based on the information provided. Always consult a professional for your individual needs.